Good morning, guys. I'm making this video. This video where basically I'm going to talk about myself a little bit about my schooling, my professional life, and about my business life. The whole motive about this making this video is that I just want to share my experiences and how I collaborated with Sojanians, and we are doing pretty okay after collaborating. The whole crux which I want everybody to take it from is that if we collaborate, if we work towards each other, if we try and help each other as a Sujanian community, I think we can do pretty good things. So that's the whole motive of sharing this video. So just to introduce myself, I am Udhey Singh, roll number 738, 12th batch. I am from a place called Kathlor. Kathlor is in district Gurdaspur. So, and we have a house in Dalhousie as well. So basically I'm a Punjabi and come Himachali. So to start with, in school time I used to be a good sportsman. So if you talk about sports, throughout my life I've been playing a lot of games. So I played national football, plus I was a school football captain. I played hockey, all IPSC tournament, North Zone competition, state level. Then I've been best athlete throughout my career in school, North Zone best athlete, Himachal best athlete twice. So all those activities, like I've been best boxer of school 3-4 times. So I was very good in sports. I've been awarded the best sportsman of Himachal once in Chamba. So that's my schooling. As far as studies were concerned, I was not that great, although I got 68% marks in my plus 2. But I was decent. I was not that bad. I was not very sharp also. So I was an average student. So this is what my schooling was. So when I passed out from school, I couldn't join NDA, although I cleared the written examination, but I couldn't get through SSB. So there were reasons for it, but that's okay. So from our batch also, I think around 10 odd people, they joined. So one of the learning which I've always taken from my school is that the teamwork and the loyalty and the honesty. These are the 2-3 things which I've always considered to be very good in professional life as well as for personal life. So the kind of friends which I have got from school, again, that's amazing. I don't think so I'll be able to find those kind of people which I met in the school. So these are the couple of things which I have always taken along with me throughout wherever I've gone. So after schooling, again, the main challenge of our school is that once the students, they are not able to clear NDA, most of the students, they are not aware about the opportunities which are outside. But in my case, what has happened is that I went to Chandigarh. So I dropped a year, joined some academy. So there I got a little bit exposure and started plan to do engineering. Then I joined engineering college from PTU. I did electronics engineering. Although I cleared a couple of other pretty decent institute like Thapar and other, although the streams were not good. But I chose to join in Mohali, one of the institute in Mohali. It was Tangori, and ours was the first batch. So I took that risk, but my whole criteria of choosing that college was that I wanted to stay close to Chandigarh. So place was always quite important to me. So I wanted to be in Chandigarh, so I chose this engineering college. During this engineering college, again, I met a lot of good friends, and I also got a lot of exposure also since being close to Chandigarh. So a lot of people, they were planning to do MBA and all that stuff since third year or the final year. So I also started preparing for my MBA. So immediately after engineering, I got through again a couple of good institutes. I got through IAFT, I got through Symbiosis and a couple of CAT institute as well. But then I again chose Symbiosis purely because Symbiosis was in Pune, and I wanted to be in Pune because I've heard a lot of good stories about Pune. So again, throughout my career, so this place was very important, and this was very important criteria of choosing things. Did my MBA from Pune, got placed in a company called as Ushacom through my campus placement in Pune, and Ushacom was in Calcutta. So I was in Calcutta for 2 years. Joined a profile of corporate strategy and business development. Worked there for 2.5 years. Then I came to Delhi. I worked in Bharti Telesoft, Bharti Group company. Worked for 3 years. Then after that, I kept on working for some German, French companies. So throughout my career, I've always worked into softwares companies first, and second is always into sales and business development and corporate strategy kind of job. In I think 2010 to 2014, I was consultant to a couple of companies. I was a sales consultant to a couple of companies, and I was trying to push their solutions to Southeast Asia, since I had a lot of exposure in handling this market, and I've never handled Indian market as such, but was always into Southeast Asia. So started doing consultancy. So this was a brief about my professional life or corporate life. So I don't want to take much more time in that, but this experience was good enough. I again worked with a lot of good, brilliant, IITians, IIMs, all these people I've worked with throughout my life. But again, my learning or my experience with this was that the kind of teamwork which we see in our school, guys, I never seen anywhere else. Never. Most of the people are brilliant, great, but a lot of people are selfish as well. So this was my the second learning from professional life. And then how I started my own company was that me and my wife, we went for an anniversary. We went for a trek in McLeodganj, and that was my first trek of my life. I had never done any trekking before, and since I was always into sports, so I always wanted to do something which involves me physically. So we went to McLeodganj. We went for a trek called as Guna Devi from Bal village, and that was in February. So it was all covered with snow. So this was a trek for 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days. We did this trek, and we had a staff of 3 people. There was one guide, there was one cook, and there was one other guy. So in these 3 days, I started discussing a lot of things with this guide, and this guide has had an experience of 15 odd years, and he's a local guy. He's a Gaddi guy. So we had good discussion, and then I started asking him question कि is he happy, खुश हो, पैसा वैसा मिलता है, नहीं मिलता है, कि पेमेंट टाइम पे मिलती है. तो देन ही सेड नहीं सर, ये पैसा तो कम है और ये टाइम पे मिलता भी नहीं है. दिस इज़ व्हाट ही सेड, एंड ही टोल्ड मी कि शायद वो इस जॉब को छोड़ देगा. Then I offered him कि why if I put in the money, if we start together, so will he be okay for that? Then he said कि yeah. Then I kept on asking him कि कितना पैसा लगेगा, क्या होगा, कितना पैसा लगता है. Then he shared me all the details. I think that was in February. We registered our company in April, and this guy who was not even +2 pass, so he became my partner. So me and this guy, his name is Gulab Singh, we started the company. So this is how the journey for our company started. And the first 2 years was struggle because there was no business. But I think the first 2 major achievement which we did was I hosted our batch. We had a silver jubilee in as usually in the woods. So after this silver jubilee, I took a couple of people who want to plan. So we went for a trekking with the families. So that was the first camping we did for our batchmates. And thereafter we also did a music festival in Naddi, and we hosted around 250 odd people in Naddi. So there was the music festival. There were some big names that time. Parikrama was one of them, and we bought equipment for these 200 odd people. And once we bought this equipment, I think that time in Dharamshala area, we were one of the biggest company which has this amount of equipment for trekking. And then a lot of people, they started taking equipment from us. So slowly and slowly, so it took 2 years. We put in a lot of hard work, and hard work means he was the operation guy and I was the strategy, and I used to stay in Delhi, but I used to travel a lot at that time. So this is how our journey from Himtrek started. Then we bought Then we took a guest house in Dharamkot. We made it as a base camp, and that's how we started, getting. We started having tie-ups with bigger companies, and we grew. And within a year, we became one of the biggest company in McLeodganj for as far as adventure sports was concerned. Till that time, there was no involvement or collaboration with the Sujanians as such. And I also purely did all this business not for money, but then only because I wanted to be physically fit. I want to. This was a little passion for me, and I want to make that amount of money so that I'm happy and content. But then we started getting some opportunities in Manali area because all the companies, because I was into B2B business, not B2C business, because I never want to handle a team. I never want to go to an office. I don't like going to office at all. And since we got a couple of opportunities in Manali, we started doing some treks in Manali. And I think that was 2016 onwards. I shared a post in Sujanian, I think in Facebook or some other medium, that I'm looking for a Sujanian who works with me. That's when one of the Sujanian from 26 batch, Rajat. So he was working, that time he was working in a company in KPMG, pretty big company. But this guy was pretty passionate. So he told me, Bhaiya, I want to join, I want to work in this. So we had a discussion and he joined me. Because what I found in him, he's done a BMC, he was very passionate. So, and I told him, you handle Manali part. And initially he joined just as an employee. But I think within 6 months, we decided that it's not just employee, I want to work with Sujani on a partner's basis, if there's a capability. So of course I need to see the capabilities also. So some stake was shared, he put in money also, and he started handling Manali. So he was the first partner, I'll put it that way, and whole territory in Manali, everything was his. So from there we started, so for me also it was very easy because I was in Delhi. I don't need to bother too much about what is happening in Manali now because our brother was handling that, and we started growing. Again, there was one collaboration, and slowly we started having campsite in Kasol, Litosh, in Beed Billing, and McLeodganj. So a couple of places we started. And how I started investing or taking these campsites was because there were some Sujanians coming up who want to work with us, and I said, okay, if you can manage it, why we can do it together. Because I have only limited capability, I cannot do all the business and everything alone, because otherwise it will be too much, and my objective is not to just to make money. And so that's how we started collaborating. And after Rajat, I collaborated with Amit Minhas. So he's the batchmate of Rajat, and again he left his job and joined me, and then he's the one who's managing the campsite in Beed Billing, and that's a very pretty campsite. He's doing a fantastic job, and he's a partner. He has a stake in the campsite. And then we have a couple of more people. Vikas is there, Raman Bhai is there, and then Anurag is there. So some are in McLeodganj. So since last 2.5 years, so there are a couple of Janians, they have become my partner, and they are the ones who take all the call and everything. They are the ones who manage the money, and also my objective is to get business to work on the strategy part, and their work is to be on the operation front. So this is how we have grown. Now we have 5-6 differences. So I don't want to talk too much about the company, but I want to stress too much on the part that I could become a little big because there were some good people, and those good people was Janian. Before that, there were other people. They were also doing a fantastic job, but I was not able to save money because there were issues, transparency issues, loyalty issues, honesty issues. The kind of work which I want to do or the kind of services which I want to give was not up to the mark. But since the Sudanians have come, so all the work has been very easy for me. And my objective is that I will always consider them as my brothers, always treat them as a brother, And what I expect from them is the loyalty, honesty, and mindedness to learn things. And that is what has happened. And we have slowly we have been growing. So after this video, I would also suggest that if any of the Sujanian junior, senior, whosoever sees this video, then they should learn one thing from this, is that if we join hand together in any other field, whether tourism or XYZ or any YZ, I think we can achieve a lot of bigger things. And that's my whole objective of sharing this video. Let's try and help each other. Let's try and collaborate with each other in business, in jobs, and anything. I think we can achieve very big things in no time. That's the whole objective of sharing this video. So please, my only request is, let's join hand together. Let's do something big together, because as alone we will be able to do it, but not as big as what we can do it together. So this is a brief about this which I want to share. I hope this helps somebody. So I'm always open for any help, any suggestion, anything for my Sudanian friends. So thank you. You have a nice day. Thanks.